let's talk about Kenny Pickett, the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This upcoming season is a big season, not just for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but mostly it's a big season for Kenny Pickett. This is year number 2. Usually this is when you get a gist of when the quarterback is going to be the guy for the team or the team needs to move back. Now, I have a lot of faith in Kenny Pickett. Today we're going to be talking about the positives and the negatives, and is he primed for a big year? Let's get straight into this thing. Kenny Pickett on surface level, when you look at his statistics, you say, what the hell is this? 7 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. This guy has no talent. The Pittsburgh Steelers need to move on. But numbers can be misconstrued. Numbers don't lie, but they don't tell the entire story. 9 interceptions that he thrown, a lot of them were not his fault. And you go back and look at the first game that he played in against the New York Jets. He came in after halftime. He gave this team a jolt of energy. That's what Mike Tomlin was aiming for, and that's what the Pittsburgh Steelers Nation wanted to see. They wanted to see the guy that got drafted from Pitt come in and start. They were done with Mr. Trubisky. And you look at the interceptions that he threw in the New York Jets game, weren't completely his fault. You could say the first interception he threw was his fault. It was underthrown to Chase Claypool. The ball gets intercepted by the safety. But the other 2 interceptions were not his fault. So we're already at 2 interceptions that were not Kenny Pickett's fault. The other interception I'm talking about, he drifts out to the right, tries to make a play. He throws a ball to Pat Freiermuth, bounces off his hands. It's an interception. And the last play was just a Hail Mary play late in the game. It gets intercepted. So a lot of the interceptions you have to look at and say, is it really on Kenny Pickett, or is it on the wide receiver, or was it just bad luck? Another interception that he threw that wasn't his fault was in the Miami Dolphins game. Throws a ball up to Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool slips and falls. Miscommunication. Trying to get the receiver a chance. The ball gets intercepted. Now, a lot of these interceptions that you look at as well for Kenny Pickett is just him testing his accuracy too much, him getting too cute. It was a curl concept. Deontay Johnson is wide open. Kenny Pickett sees Johnson, tries to squeeze the ball in a tight window. The safety comes down, intercepts the ball. He throws 3 interceptions in the Miami Dolphins game. Not all of them were completely his fault, but that one was. And he did go 5 weeks in a row without throwing an interception. So it is good on Kenny Pickett's part. I'm looking at this offense as a whole. I'm not going to be shy about it. I hate them bringing back Matt Canada. I understand that the players want him to come back. They speak very highly of him. It's just not a good offensive system. And we've seen it the last couple of years. Kenny Pickett averaged 6.2 yards a throw. Mr. Trubisky averaged 6.7 yards a throw. But something that's glaring, the last 2 years of Big Ben being with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you can say his arm was shot. He was not the same quarterback. 6.3 yards a throw in 2020, 6.2 yards in 2021. All these quarterbacks have something in common. None of them could throw for over 7 yards a throw because the system that they run is run the ball heavy, work off of play action, and dink and dunk your way down the field. And that can work. We've seen quarterbacks before, similar to an early Tom Brady in his career, dink and dunk his way down the field, be a game manager, and it works. It's a death by 1,000 paper cuts. But in today's NFL, it's not going to work out too friendly for you. When you look at this system as a whole, it's not quarterback friendly. Every now and then they take the occasional deep shot to Deontay Johnson or to a George Pickens, but it's no fluidity to the offense. There's no creativity. You get a jet sweep every now and then when they had Chase Claypool before they traded him, and it just doesn't help out the quarterback. But one thing that was very interesting, when Kenny Pickett went up tempo and no huddle, the offense showed a lot of life, and it did the same thing with Big Ben. And also, as much as people want to hate on Trubisky, when they went no huddle, they saw a lot more success. So that comes down to those guys getting quick plays. The Pittsburgh Steelers need to go back into up-tempo and just try to get the guys on the field and win out the defense and use more motion. I think that Kenny Pickett will be a good quarterback for this team moving forward. No, he may not have the same arm strength as a Patrick Mahomes or the same escapability, but he's shown good plays. He's able to drift outside the pocket and make elite level throws, like how he did against the Baltimore Ravens, which was a good defense for the majority of the season. Yes, they blew leads, but they played the Pittsburgh Steelers tough. The throw that he made in the back of the end zone to Najee Harris was amazing. Those are elite level type of throws. Those are the type of throws that if Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, or Patrick Mahomes makes, everyone is wilding out over. So people tend to look at Pickett and say he's an older quarterback that came out of the draft. The only reason he got drafted by the Steelers is because he went to Pitt. That's not necessarily the case. They need to get a quarterback. And I feel like a lot of harsh judgment comes off of that. But at the same time, Pickett does have some flaws. Out of all the positive things I said, quick reader of the field, good at getting the ball out, good release, is smart at times, has good accuracy. The negatives are this: he doesn't want to throw the football away at times. And as the season progressed, he did. but he wants to hold on to the football for a very long time. Something that Trubisky would just get rid of the football. You look at Kenny Pickett, and it does open up a lot of opportunity for deep plays down the field when they will get him. He gets hit and gets knocked out of games. Look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. Hold on to the football for too long. Gets a blitz. Didn't see it coming. Gets hit. Gets concussed. And that just wasn't the only game he got concussed in. He got concussed earlier in the season. So Kenny Pickett has to do a better job. Just throw the football away. When it's 2nd and 1 or when it's 3rd and 1, it's okay. You know what? Let's not put the punt team in any worse situation, or we can get it back to the next play. Let's throw the football away. And I believe that will come with time. Even though his age may not say it, he's still a young player in the NFL. He's going into his 2nd year. And a lot of people may say this as well. He was never that guy in college until he had the pandemic year. He benefited from that, and that is true. But he's shown a lot of good so far with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not just looking at only the stat line. I'm looking at the play on the field. Did he struggle last season? Yes, he did. But did he give them more of an opportunity to win than Mr. Trubisky? Yes, he did. And I have to give Trubisky credit. He came in and he looked good in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. They won the game. But he also came back against the Baltimore Ravens and threw 3 interceptions, and he cost them the game. So it shows you how valuable Kenny Pickett can be. The team resulted more around him, and the run game was better when he was a quarterback in the game. He has sneaky mobility, and he's able to rush for some touchdowns as well, like how he did in the New York Jets game. He also has to do a better job at sliding in the open field or just running out of bounds. He took a dumb hit in the New York Jets game, even though he got the touchdown for it. Plays like that will knock you out the NFL very quickly. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have their guy long term, but this upcoming season will be very important. He has the weapons around him, and Deontay Johnson, and George Pickens, and Pat Freiermuth. I believe that they need to stop relying so much on these short yardage plays. Half of it is because the offensive line wasn't that good earlier in the season. As the season progressed, it got better. But with them getting these free agency signings, hopefully the offensive line can play better, because Kenny Pickett was not comfortable in the pocket, especially with the tackle position. They need to address that. Hopefully they can get a guy in the NFL draft that can sub in for a guy like a Dan Moore Jr., because him at tackle just isn't it right now. And they need to make Kenny Pickett more comfortable in the pocket. When he was able to be comfortable in the pocket, we saw it in the Cincinnati Bengals game, in the second game that both these teams matched up. He performed extremely well in the first half. After halftime, Bengals made some adjustments. They started to pressure Kenny Pickett. Offensive line faltered again. Matt Canada couldn't adjust. We saw Pickett come back to life. But I believe that these certain glimpses could be something long term. But when he went on that 5-game streak with 0 interceptions and he played clean football, that's when he was at his best. But his best game was against the Baltimore Ravens late in the game in 3rd and 4th quarter. He willed the Pittsburgh Steelers away to win that game, and he was the sole reason that they won that football game, plus their defense. But if he doesn't make that screen throw to Najee Harris, maybe they don't win that game. And he also had that game-winning drive against the Las Vegas Raiders. And yes, I understand the Raiders' defense is horrible. Baker Mayfield had the game-winning drive against them. But you look how quick Kenny Pickett was to get the football out of his hands to give it to George Pickens when he saw his dad was just cover 2. I think that this could be the guy long term. I think that he will be a good starter for this team. You are in a tough division with superstar quarterbacks on every single team, such as Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, and Joe Burrow. But Kenny Pickett has already showed you he can compete with those teams and even in some cases beat those teams. So let me know in the comment section below how you feel about Kenny Pickett long term. Do you believe in this kid? And if you don't believe in him, please let me know why you don't believe in him in the comment section below. And if he's not the starting quarterback long term, who should the Pittsburgh Steelers target? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one, guys, stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace.